Mahmoud is coming from Egypt to the United States on a spousal visa, and this isn't going to be easy, but we have to make this work. It's our last shot.
Here we go again. Some things just never change. Yet again, Nicole is burying her head in the sand. She's hoping that Mahmoud will miraculously change his ways, will miraculously change everything he believes in, just because he's no longer in Egypt. Only something tells me that might be wishful thinking.
When I was in Egypt, I tried things his way, and now I need him to try things my way. So this time, I'm gonna be myself in order to have a healthy marriage.
I hate to break it to you, Nicole, but the issues in your marriage, issues like control, freedom of expression, and religion, aren't exactly the kinds of things that will miraculously change because someone has moved location. I mean, Nicole, of all people, should know that. Now, before we go any further, I think now would be a good time to address the elephant in the room. So, the last we saw these two, Nicole was breaking the news to Mahmoud that she intended to leave Egypt. She found it impossible to live there. And when we join them on this show, it's now Mahmoud's turn to move to America. His visa has been approved. But here's where we face a bit of a problem. You see, while this is the first episode of a brand new season, a new show, in real time today as I record this, Mahmoud has actually been in the States for nearly a year. And the reason why I bring that up is because in February of this year, 2024, the news broke that he'd been arrested on charges of domestic violence. Yeah, crazy and incredibly serious. So forgive me, but I can't just pretend like everything's okay. I can't just conveniently ignore his arrest, the elephant in the room, and report on what's going on the show. So what exactly happened? What do we know about the arrest? According to the arrest record that was posted online, Mahmoud was in jail before being released on a $20,000 bond, which was paid for by his friend. He's actually due to appear in court sometime this month, March 2024. Now, keep in mind that just because Mahmoud was arrested and he's appearing in court, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was Nicole that pressed charges. The district attorney can also choose to pursue the case. And Mary Pants, the Instagrammer who broke the news about Mahmoud's arrest, also clarified what the definition of domestic violence misdemeanor is. Quote, "It's often the result of simple assault, battery, and/or verbal abuse." With the Instagram caption reminding everyone, quote, "Remember that fight Nicole and Mahmoud had in public in Egypt where he grabbed her arm? Something similar happened yesterday between Mahmoud and Nicole." So that's what's being reported. That is the huge elephant in the room with this season. In real life, in real time, there's an assault charge hanging over his head. But here we are on the show before any of this happened. So with that out of the way, we join Nicole in this episode as she's out shopping for pajamas for Mahmoud.
It's been 5 months since I've seen him, but I'm so excited because tomorrow Mahmoud is moving to the US and it's going to be a whole new chapter for us.
So, as I'm sure you remember, the biggest issue that the pair constantly fought over was Mahmoud dictating to Nicole what she could or couldn't wear. Considering she's a foreign woman, a woman who loves fashion and expressing herself through her clothing, Mahmoud had very unrealistic expectations of how modestly Nicole should dress. And it's no surprise that Nicole constantly felt stifled by the clothing and the rules that Mahmoud put in place. The rules that he expected her to abide by in their conservative Islamic household because she had converted to Islam in order to get married.
For the last 4 years, I have tried to live there and assimilate and make life in Egypt work, but I just couldn't do it.
Nicole was discouraged from having her own friends, she was encouraged not to go out by herself, and given that she couldn't speak the language, given that she wasn't able to wear the clothes that she felt comfortable in, it wasn't long before Nicole felt like she was losing herself. It was very difficult to watch. It was clear that she was very unhappy in Egypt. So seeing her now bright and happy back in LA is a relief.
I've always loved fashion, and living here in Los Angeles, I feel like I can be as expressive as I want, I just kind of feel free.
Isn't it interesting that this is a lady who loves fashion, who loves to express herself through her clothing, yet her husband couldn't be further from that if he tried. In fact, there's a reason why she's the one here in this shop trying to find Mahmoud some pajamas.
My husband, Mahmoud, tries to wear his street clothes to bed. Like one time he wore like a wool sweater and like some jeans to bed, and it was like scratched me.
Like, what the f***? Who goes to bed in wool sweaters and jeans? If ever you needed any sort of clue as to how different these two are, there you go. The thing is, Nicole and Mahmoud got married so quickly after first meeting each other that it's blindingly obvious to everyone that Nicole didn't really know what she was signing up for. She really had no clue what living with Mahmoud's conservative Muslim family would be like.
For me in Egypt, living like an Egyptian woman was a big challenge because in Islamic marriage, there were just a lot of rules, very strict rules.
Rules which Mahmoud claims he told Nicole very clearly before marrying her. And Nicole even admitted that she thought that those rules would be negotiable when she agreed to marry him. So while Nicole was probably very naive about what married life to Mahmoud would be like, that didn't give Mahmoud the right to act in the controlling way that we've seen him act in the past.
I do not like to be told what to do. My mom did that a lot when I was growing up. So I'd have a hard time taking orders and commands from somebody, especially my husband.
Look, the truth is, if Mahmoud wanted a good Muslim woman, then he really should never have proposed to Nicole. These two seem to continuously be unable to compromise and live with one another. They can't deal with their problems, they run away, and yet they come back and try again, over and over. It's a repeated cycle. It's the literal definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, yet expecting a different result.
Mahmoud is coming from Egypt to the United States on a spousal visa, and this isn't going to be easy, but we have to make this work. It's our last shot.
I'm pretty sure Nicole called her move to Egypt last time round the last shot as well. Like, Nicole truly believes that being in the States will make Mahmoud somehow relax about his rules. But what if the opposite happens? What if by being far away from his country, his culture, Mahmoud just doubles down on how strictly he follows them? Maybe as a way of trying to cling on to his identity. Well, speaking of Mahmoud, how is he preparing for the upcoming move? How's he handling everything?
I'm so nervous to move to United States because I don't know anything there. I don't know anybody except Nicole. And I'm Muslim person, but I don't know if I can find Muslim friend.
That's exactly what your wife had to experience when she moved to Egypt, Mahmoud. Look, I can't lie, it's really going to feel like just desserts when Mahmoud moves and inevitably finds it hard and isolating to try and live in a new country. Maybe then he might have a bit more empathy for what Nicole had to go through. Now, unsurprisingly, he does understand it's going to be difficult for him, and that's part of the reason why he hasn't been keen to move in the past.
But I love my wife, and I can't do anything to be with her. Even if this means I'm leaving everything I loved.
When Nicole left America for Egypt, she also had to say goodbye to her friends and family. But keep in mind, Nicole has always been much more of a loner than Mahmoud. She didn't particularly seem all that close to her family, and her friends admitted that she kept them at arm's length. But by contrast, Mahmoud is very close to his family. He lives with his mum, and as the youngest of the siblings, he's a mama's boy. He has a very close-knit family, and leaving his mum behind is breaking his heart.
يا حبيبي خلاص طب عشان خاطري بجد عشان خاطري يا محمود.
Mahmoud's getting his last teary goodbyes in with his mum before he leaves for the airport. This is the first time he'll have ever left home in his 31 years, so it is an emotional time. But surely they had to have seen this coming. Surely his mum and brother can both see that for his marriage to stand any chance, even the remotest chance of succeeding, it's just not going to be Nicole who settles in Egypt. They've tried that numerous times and it hasn't worked out.
ايوه كنت شايفه ان هم هنا ربنا يكرمهم ويعملوا مستقبل هنا بس ما فيش بقى بس كده فشيء برضه برضه وغيابه برضه صعب.
So Mahmoud's mum says that if he needs to go abroad for his future, she won't stand in his way. And as Mahmoud is talking about how sad he's going to be to leave behind his family, he seriously has the audacity to say, "It's so hard on me." Yeah, exactly, Mahmoud. Just like it was hard on Nicole. I really hope this experience, what he's going through now, the pain and the emotional farewells, helps him to better understand the emotions that Nicole has also gone through for him.
This is the last chance we have as a couple, and I will do my best to keep our marriage together. I wish if I can feel America's can come new home for me.
Well, Mahmoud, I hate to break it to you, mate, but if the reports are true, your best really wasn't good enough. Far from it. But as he boards his flight in Cairo, thousands of miles away in LA, Nicole is excited to greet him. She's looking forward to seeing how their relationship can flourish in the Western world. Nicole firmly believes that things will be better for their marriage in America.
I'm not stuck in the house all the time like I would be in Egypt. We are not living with his family. I think all of those things, at least for me, it'll be better.
Nicole's right, it will be better for her, but will that mean better for Mahmoud as well? Now, whether Nicole chooses to accept it or not, the truth is, Mahmoud's social conditioning is very ingrained in him at this point. He firmly believes that the way he's lived his life is the correct way. So yeah, living in America is gonna require a heck of a lot of adjustments for him. He's gonna need to forget how he's lived his past life. Now, the glimmer of hope here is his own brother was able to do that when he lived in China. He openly admitted, much to Mahmoud's horror, that he used to go out and drink, for example. So maybe, just maybe, Mahmoud might be coming into this with a little bit more of an open mind than when we met him last season.
So he's going to have to find a way to be Muslim and to accept things around him that aren't necessarily an acceptable part of his religion.
Nicole says that Mahmoud's whole world is about to change, and she's definitely right about that. So will Mahmoud sink or swim? Because I think we all know the answer to that, don't we? And as Nicole gets ready to pick Mahmoud up from the airport, it's so sad to see that she's still second guessing herself in the mirror about what she's wearing. But the major difference this time is she's not willing to back down.
Probably not ideal for Mr. Mahmoud. He likes me to dress pretty modest, but I think it's a nice compromise.
Nicole points out that the sliver of her stomach and the fact that half her calves and ankles are on show will probably be an issue. But hey, it's LA. Mahmoud is just gonna need to suck it up. But the thing that I'm keen to see now is how honest has Nicole been with Mahmoud? Has she once again made promises to him that she's not going to be able to keep? Or has she been truthful to herself and to him this time?
When I was in Egypt, I tried things his way, and now I need him to try things my way. So this time, I'm gonna be myself in order to have a healthy marriage.
This vibrant, excited version of Nicole is so different from the worn down Nicole that we saw last season. She was so fragile, she was always upset. Whereas this Nicole, even visually, even with her dyed red hair, seems to have a fire lit in her belly. Hopefully, Mahmoud likes, or at least grows to like, this beautiful, liberated version of his wife as much as we all do. But I have a feeling that's probably not going to happen.
I don't know if things will improve when he gets here, because I don't know if it's just, if place can change all of the things that we're going through.
Look, Nicole's right. Changing place isn't magically just going to fix their problems. Mahmoud's biggest problem is the fact that he's so close-minded, and that is something that travel can fix. Seeing different countries, how different people live, might open his mind to things. But, again, unfortunately, given what we know about the present day, sadly, it doesn't exactly seem as though Mahmoud embraced his new life in America or his new, confident, self-assured wife.